Amalani jaijo yeni seseni TV East musawala kore jaunjo tamo program kon lebu nene angeduch na mukaga ojena kape AIRABET WOK. Koto ma AIRABET WOK inero na kironi puni kama kide Apple na ko Uganda toma kironi kama kida Iwara owaila Shuman owailo wache kirosnei kama na kide epugaelo ajokan kama kida Kirianut na teker koteso Uganda kida kide na ko Uganda kere. Kakiror Noah omuya jana kinan kun kane ido tomatu pruchana iloso ne ribore bala samus gunebe human trafficking ne ko to mo Uganda puwa kirongunoi idumunje bakai ebe itunga idue likotai mina yaune idue okara moja bakai eturaki na basi kamti police nbe utako kwar angare gwekina chepak mamerengi na bon ejasabo shone gelegela ni soma tarakiro kanu nu ekokwana retunga idada na retunga chepaka soma kiro na rokok achepakite ayangare jo somere jo asubani somere jo nyo kukwarete manyi iboruka solola ngesi jarine kire tungale lumtos koto moronge loka internal affairs ko Uganda kisule polo kitosa kirona Iwara na itunga luko Uganda kere toma apugan na ko Uganda kidian ka jengo kire yakaita basalirwa chigenyi Derek elomri ngesi koto ma Riongetlo Internal Affairs deja ingesi tomo mesa ngole jene kape era ingesi Deputy National Coordinator in the Coordination Office for Trafficking of Persons so tomo Riongetalo Internal Affairs sido aja bongo na ikereja ka ile jena kape rukuna memory era ingesi community liaison officer koto mo ya PSC yango pangona koronga jaun kesi enera kinuskele so yala mabunere eporengon that's our language, that's how we speak, that's how I say welcome to the program, welcome to speak to our people, and I've told them why you're here. Say hello to them, and then at a certain point I'll be able to translate and also force you to learn the language. Say hello to them.
No, in fact you not force me, but I would like to learn few words.
Interesting.
Yes. Our viewers, welcome to the program, and we are glad to be here. As Noah said, I'm Basari Wachigenyi Derek, Deputy to the National Coordinator for Prevention of Trafficking in Persons Office at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chigenyi. Now, memory.
Yama Noi.
Ebo.
Yoga.
Yoga Noi.
Rukuna Memory, the Community Liaison Officer of the Coordination Office of Prevention of Trafficking in Persons.
Prevention.
Of trafficking, of Prevention, Coordination Office of Prevention of Trafficking in Persons. We prevent or we fight human trafficking. We don't traffic people. We just prevent it. Yes.
Thank you so much. I want to start with you, Mr. Rukuna, from there. Let me start with Chigenyi here, as you are the Deputy Coordinator. When you talk about human trafficking, sometimes it's like a myth, trafficked for what? Maybe it's targeting only a certain category of people. You hear they've taken someone, they want ransom, they want how much. Maybe some people look at it at that level.
Yes.
Someone from Karamoja, someone from Teso, someone from Bugisu may not understand really what this means.
Yes.
Yeah. What is this human trafficking about?
Thank you, Noah. We derive our definition from the Prevention of Trafficking in Persons Act of 2009. So there is a law that we use in combating human trafficking. And from this definition, it's also derived from the international standards, the United Nations Transnational Organized Crime definition that was adopted in the year 2000 when the UN talk was signed in Parliament. Now, this definition breaks human trafficking into three components. And these make it very easy for us to derive and understand what we mean by someone being trafficked for whatever reason. Now, the components include the acts, that is component A, then the means, and the purpose. When you add these three, the actions, the means, and the purpose, then you're able to understand that this person has been trafficked. The only thing that differs is when it comes to children. For the children, we do not actually consider the means. They are totally irrelevant. Now, what do I mean by the acts or the actions? What do I mean by the means? And what do I mean by the purpose? The actions are those things someone does with the intention of trafficking you. Then the means are those things that someone does to achieve the actions with the intention of trafficking you. And then, of course, the purpose is the reason as to why someone Noah decides to take you on, take you to a place and exploit you. Under the actions, we have things that include recruitment. We have also seen organized recruitment in some of the unlicensed companies or groups. We have transportation of the individual from point A to point B. We have harboring of the individual among the actions. We have also transfer of someone from one area or from one house. Some people these days refer to them as viyumba in Uganda, to another for purposes of exploitation. Now, those means are achieved through, those actions are achieved through the following means. Through one that we call deception, deceiving someone. For instance, I may tell you that you're going to work, say, as a supermarket attendant in Dubai, but instead you end up on the streets, if you're a woman, selling your body. Or you may tell a girl in Soroti that let's go to Kampala, you work as a housemaid, but instead when they get to Kampala, you push them into a bar, into a brothel, you lie to them about the intention. The other means would include fraud. The perpetrator or the trafficker can forge documents, can forge identifications, can forge or even defraud you of money. People have been told to pay some money to be given jobs, to pay some money to be taken to places for opportunities. That is fraud. Then we also have abuse of office as another means. Now you realize that all these means help the trafficker to achieve their action of recruiting you, transporting you, and taking you to a different place for the sole purpose of exploiting you. Abuse of office is another means. We have also coercion. Some people are forced. Some people are even kidnapped. We have children that are kidnapped. Remember, among the purposes of human trafficking, we also have witchcraft. We have child sacrifice. Now, many of these children who are kidnapped or coerced and taken by force, some of them end up into some of these avenues. We also have organ harvesting among the purposes. So you realize that the actions are fueled by the means to achieve the intended purpose. And of course, among the purposes I've already mentioned, that is the other third component. I've talked about sexual exploitation, labor exploitation, we have human sacrifice, we have organ harvesting, we have street begging. This is also common these days. And then we also have, I said organ harvesting. We also have forced labor, early child marriages, forced marriages. All these are the purposes to which someone may be trafficked. So once you understand that these three components, in any point in time, if you find yourself in these situations, you are likely to be a victim of trafficking in persons. Okay. However, I must emphasize now that for the children, the means, as I've mentioned, are irrelevant. We do not even look at them or consider them because the children are below the age. They cannot make their own decisions. So by no means shall we look at how you fueled your actions to exploit them.
Okay, maybe for the benefit of those who may not have got it well, ijo ye ni seseni jai ni tatamia kironi kamara kire ako kwa naro na itunga ne ngala naro na itunga ijodo noro na itunga anwa kiro sina chenu mamiri amana kedenu chama kiro sikisila no arona ne pu koto mo enerke balangesbe elemu eraino akiro ni gerunta yoto mo kisilalo lo akopsine kere aluka United Nations ageuno lukarno ne bakabe the National Organized Crime Adopted okarlo ilukum niare so di jaibo bo act no parliament na bakabe Prevention of Persons Trafficking Act ne gerunto karlo ilukum niare keda itomna kanyape so mami kisila chama kitos akokwa naro na itunga tontunga la polo kode kokwa naro oponani jasi waiti ni uni leta mtamangesi jaibo rebaka be act the actions ni to soma itunga nani ponesho le soma itunga nana na ijodo raja na ngala rajo iloto yo ngina soma kinete yakiro no mamiri ya mara kedenu ngala reterejo yapoli ngala retunga nyesi ba chepa ke jaswa mngina ne beta duma kinijo obuni jodai wonyi ebe jaswa nga idolijo ngina itegel kinakiro ichepo bo chepo ne sino ngesa baka organized recruitment ngesingin so de jibora baka be group transportation era side yar kera baka be lolana je somero le koto redwe aswamo ashoman na titai ibore wona beri jaswa ngesa goli police de su kere buyari ngina dolte ngina dum bitegel kinakiro obiche bore ne alimu aja kaita chigenye balabunbe jibora baka transfer of someone from Metoke diope tonilo chetogo loto tese boy Kampala mama swam ara Kampala ra dio boy siningala rojo doli jongne mama swam baka boke kwa neto golo kwa no nyauna ni aiguto to golo che dolte sungine mambori swama awashake kwenyo bijaijo ai boy sitache na ungisho aingise nebala nengiste ngobe anu boynyo ingala na ritunga otoma anuangi chutukesi koto moronget loka internal affairs anene bala nges bonbe e jasberi ponesho lito soma o ajodore tunganan anwa ko kwa reja soma ja che kirono wa mijeni tunga kerlo apolo kwa meri dwe bone ko kwa nara parashano na soditi ejibore baka deception ngala jo biloto jo Dubai jaswa mngina bilosi ya swama hoteli losi jo ngina je kinita jara oni gola nara kwa nara boli goyo rot ay wora motoka nara inyo e baka be jibore baka be fraud ay rai tunga sud documents ngala jo baka ngala kino jo duma kino ja ID kro reche sudo kino jo losi jo ngina oduma inte ja chetonis je bibore baka abuse of office so ne baka coercion e baka chetunga ebuikino ara ngalaro akiro sinaino anubo nyi swama ere ngala na ritunga arabe kokwa na ritunga otomo reporting lo adum tukesi kotomo internal affairs ndio pe kotomo borle ngala na ritunga ngesi ebora baka be chudet witchcraft angari tunga na nuo swama subanit anoino idwe angari dwe swama subanit no ejebi bora baka be organ trafficking angaro jo ikwenyuni yadumbe tuborta je many tuborta jo dio boroto marabe enyoen what are the organs they usually take?
They include kidney.
Kidney,
yes.
You know, iborokamun. So iborokamun ngesi ebala ngesi. Now I need to hear from memory.
Yes.
As a community liaison officer, what are the issues in community regarding what do you hear from communities regarding human trafficking?
Thank you so much for the question. Unfortunately, with human trafficking, you won't know until you are there. Now, what happens in the community, especially these days, there is this issue of people coming and recruiting people's children. They are taking them for services like a scholarship. Someone comes and starts registering the children in the village that they are taking them for a scholarship. They convince the parents, like the way one deputy national coordinator said, they deceive the parents that they are going to take their children for study purposes. They managed to convince the parent that they will be taking the child for over 10 years. And now the parent accepts, because there is a way these perpetrators come with a convincing tongue and manage to hoodwink everyone, including the leaders. And now as they are being taken for those scholarships, now that's when they are diverted for other exploitation purposes that, like we mentioned. If they are girls, they are taken for child marriages, forced marriage. There is child marriage, which that is now a defilement. Then there is forced marriage. Even a person who is above 18 can be put into marriage that they are not, they have not consented to. Then we have rebel activities. Then we have our neighbors here in Karamoja, the young kids who they actually pass here in Soroti, Katakwi, Soroti, Amoria. Then they go to the streets to beg. I don't know if they are in Soroti, but they are in Bari, they are in Kampala,
in Nairobi.
In Nairobi, from Uganda to Nairobi to beg. So these people are in our communities. And secondly, the person who will recruit you, the person who will traffic you, doesn't necessarily have to be a stranger. Very many people have been recruited by their relatives, by their uncles, by their sisters. Just because you want to go outside the country where your uncle is, they will not tell you what they are doing. And these days, towns have become cities, municipalities have become cities, and there's so much going on in those cities. There is need for services. Outside the country, here in Uganda, in Soroti right now, there is very many spots for hospitality business. There are bars, there are nightclubs, there are restaurants, and they need cheap labor. Apart from that, the people themselves need the other services of sexual services. And when they are recruiting these people, especially our young sisters, for sexual exploitation, they don't tell them that you come. They don't go to Ngora, they don't go to Katakwi and start recruiting girls that they are taking them for sexual exploitation. No, they reach there, they start now recruiting them for supermarket work. You come and become a cashier, you come and become a supermarket attendant, you come and you work in a restaurant as a waitress. There are those enticing jobs that they tell them that they are going to do. As they reach here in Soroti, they are put in a room, those big houses they were talking about, and now they start bringing men to use them. And as they are bringing men to use them, they are not even getting the money. The money is going to the recruiter. Same as people who are trafficked transnationally. They get you from here, they confiscate your passport, they confiscate your papers, you reach the other side, let's say in the Middle East, Dubai, wherever, they have taken you, they lock you inside the house, and every day they are getting girls. They are getting girls. They are taking them to use them for sexual exploitation. First of all, you have nowhere to report to. You are not even aware that you have rights, you as a person, to report whether you're in another country or not. People are not aware that they have rights. Same as people who are gotten from other countries and brought here to Uganda.
I need us to explain, to go deeper into that after the short break, as I also highlight this for the benefit of those who may not have got you clearly. Ebala eja kait memory ebe ibore ne bakai human trafficking kokwaro na itunga iswa mache kirusine mamche pakiti jenu nida be uta kokware jowara yer ara kokware kon kokwaro na chekon until ni dumna jo badol training in ai boy sitting in ara badaw na ngar tunga ngin na epone ba ne bunere ai jodo noro itunga kokwana tunga na so dite jibore bakai mass recruitment epote kui kere timu ai ngala geuna neja sengar no tunga lo kwa be ai bunti so be seja kini duelo ano chala lo mutan scholarship aishomo na tita down karto monto na down sinya na kaida face nya 6 kwenye ni boni koto ja swa isa swa mngese sa chama kini swa ya ngari kesi chamunede suda brokini duwe ya ngaro na swa maira chekiro ma message nete now ya ngar do ngunu na nyobi swa maire ngesuno na ga utai tamtamon abu ikino dukone kedi chetunga abu ikino swa msina chair baloma regioni nga kero ni rebels kwa na parasham na jasila ye Kongo le bakai ADF riengunjo be bakai kon kokwera kwa na rebel separation we jai kwa ni bore bakai street begging loto yo town Soroti bala kwa neja stone kata kwida ejitunga le liplipitos iduelu didiki dumunyi keti koku damiat jakina damiat then you ask yourself epone bana nyu niko kungina from anaja ingesi to na donu nejai so akiro sine ngesi ejaske sa tata now chebore bo boyne posiki noi itungana ni ngalari jo aswam sine kanu mamera itungana nien mamejeni jo oto maingichi kes etodube itunga lwingala narti tunga ngesi luwe na tartunga mama iko ni soma bugeche ijako ni soma ingina ngesi ngala je jaswa mlailo bako biora ni soma supermarket awashake dumunjo riengunjo bejo ngesi na kwa rijana lakini kilo kone kutosi kilo so ngesi no jaske satata mejabi chebona tiro tene bakabe erkwe bakabe transnational recruitment anu human trafficking ngesi kwando sener akalo ni bungno to mayengo sirikonya kawene kun television no salti juseni TV East